Joanna Weiler, and I'm going to be telling you about a miscommunication that happened between me and a friend, and why it led me to make a rule for myself not to text important information. So, I want to introduce you to two of my friends, Brendan and Sarah. Now, they go to college together, and we've been friends since high school. And Brendan's kind of an unstable guy. He's kind of pessimistic, but he's really fun to be around. And Sarah, well, he has a short temper too. And Sarah's, she's got a big personality, and the two don't really get along. And at this time, Sarah has just broken up with her long-term boyfriend, and she's spending a lot of time with Brendan because they're friends, kind of friends from high school. And Brendan's not having it. Like, he doesn't want to be around her all the time, and so this is where I come in. I'm texting Brendan one night, just asking, like, how's college going, kind of catching up, and he is not having a great time at college, like, pessimistic, and so I'm a little worried about that. Like, I want him to have fun in college. And then he starts talking about Sarah and how she's always around, and how he's, like, struggling to get rid of her, and, like, plays video games. He doesn't want her around all the time. And so I just kind of put that part of the conversation aside, like, oh, he's just complaining, it doesn't really matter. And then by that time, I get a text, like, alert thing on my phone, because I don't have a smartphone, and it says to delete all your inbox because your inbox is full. And so I say, okay, conversation's basically over, nothing important there. So I delete all my messages and go to sleep. I wake up the next morning, and I get this text from Brendan saying, look, I need help, I can't do this anymore, I don't know what to do, help me. And so my immediate reaction is, this guy is in trouble, like, I hope he doesn't hurt himself, like, I'm freaking out, I'm like 7 hours away, what can I do? So I start calling frantically, like, answer your phone, Brendan, but he doesn't answer, because people don't answer their phone these days. And so I text him, and then he texts back after like 3 hours, and I'm like, in these 3 hours, like, praying frantically. I skip chapel, like, I'm really worried about him. And he texts me and says, I'll call you tonight. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just talk to you tonight. So he calls me that night, and he's just chipper, like, more than I would expect him to be ever. And then he keeps complaining about Sarah. And then that's when I get this wave of relief, and I realize that the text message, he was talking about getting help with the Sarah situation, and how to, like, get her out of his room, and not always, like, get her more friends and stuff, and not about his own college experience and being depressed and anything. And so I just get this wave of relief, like, okay, you're fine. And then by that point, I can't take any more of his complaints about Sarah. I'm just thinking, like, it'll be over in a week, deal with it, like, you have no problems compared to what I thought you had. And so I told him what I thought, and he thought it was just hilarious that I was freaking out about him for some reason. And so yeah, all that stress that wasn't even needed led me to decide not to text important information. And also, when I delete my inbox, I always leave, like, a little bit of the last conversation, so I know where it picks up again if it ever does. So that's my story.